All right, here we have some fake coins, and so we have an interview today with Sound Money Metals. We'll talk about uh, how it works, and some of the fakes coming in. I think it's worth watching. It's not a sponsored video. He did send me a few free fake coins. That's what I got out of it. Like I said, I'll always be upfront with you guys. Other than I do have that affiliate link with them. But there's more and more fakes coming. And as you'll see in the interview, some that you really wouldn't think. So anyway, uh, watch the video and I hope you enjoy and learn something.
Okay, we have an interview with Sound Money Metals, and can you introduce yourself again?
Hey, yeah, my name is Farshad Kayud. I'm the founder of Sound Money Metals, technically the inventor of the Pocket Pinger, a device that uses sound to test for counterfeit coins. And I believe we're going to talk about some common beliefs with the ping test and some ways to test for counterfeits using sound and some other methods.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
I mean, as everybody on the channel knows, I'm a big believer in this. I mean, I have a Sigma Mini Pro, but I never take it out anymore.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Those machines are really awesome. The ones that test resistivity, especially the new ones that check the dimensions also.
Oh, it does, yeah. But it's, you're talking $1,800. Most people can't afford that. So
yeah, that's definitely there's a use case for it for sure. Like if you're going through like hundreds of ounces a day, or you have like staff that doesn't really know what they're looking at, and they need to process that into their inventory, like those machines definitely make sense. And even for like the smaller collectors too, if they have like, not smaller collectors, but people with like, when you get up into like where it makes sense to own one of those machines, which is quite a few people.
Yeah, I don't know if I was really one, but I did get one. But
sure.
Yeah. But then I found the Pocket Pinger and I tested against the Sigma quite a bit, and it was like 100%. So
yeah, exactly. So as long as you're using multiple testing methods to go with the ping test, it's a pretty accurate thing. Same thing with the Sigma, right? So the Sigma, you got to use the multiple test too, right? That's why they started doing those. They added the dimensions. Yeah, the ping test actually kind of works similar in a way to the Sigma, in that there has to be some kind of pre-recorded or pre-verified parameter set. And the difference is that the Sigma is measuring the resistivity of the metal, and the ping test is measuring the frequencies. So just like the Sigma needs to have like a bunch of samples to come up with the resistivity that they need, and the same thing with the ping test, there needs to be a bunch of samples to figure out what the frequencies need to be. That might be a lot to handle for someone just hopping in, but that's pretty much how it's working.
Okay.
Yeah, so just real quick, so before we get started, I just want to say that each one of these trays here has some other kind of like module or thing that we can learn from, and it's not just ping testing, and I'm not sure where to start, or I'm not sure how much time we have, so if you could let me know what you're expecting, how long you want the video to be, I can start just mentally thinking how long I can go for. Or
if we could keep it a half hour or so.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Is there some place you want me to start, or you want me to just get started?
No, just go ahead and get started. Like I was saying, I know, there was, the 90% silver. There's more fakes. There's more fakes of everything. So yeah, whatever you want to feel like you want to get started with, that'd be great.
Yeah. Sure. We can start with the 90% Kennedys. So yeah, there's more 90% fakes coming in for sure, and they're getting a lot better. So this is a real 1964 Kennedy. You can see there, it's a beautiful 90% silver coin. And these, I think they're going for about $12 last I checked. I'm not sure, maybe higher now, but this is what they sound like. Has that beautiful 90% silver sound. And then here is one of the higher level fakes that are coming in right now. To put these side by side. If you don't know what you're looking at and you're new to collecting, and this one here on the left is new, but that will tone over time. You can see I stamped it fake copy. But if you don't know what you're looking at, this is, I think I sent you one of these too, Morgan. This is, in my opinion, a medium to high level fake. Like if you bought a roll of these Kennedys, this one would not stand out to me for sure. But when you ping it, here's the sound. It's a much different sound, higher pitch, different frequencies. And you can tell that this is not the same metal as the 90%. It's actually still ringing. I'm some kind of And here's the real one. So that's essentially how the ping test works. You ping one, you ping the other. If it sounds the same, you're good to go. If it sounds different, you definitely want to do some other testing methods. Here is a 1967. This is also a fake. So even these 40%ers are being counterfeited, knocked off. And this is like something you were saying. It's not something that people were expecting to be counterfeited just because of the lower value of these things. But
yeah,
as these counterfeits keep selling, they're going to keep making them and they're going to keep getting better for sure. Here's another one that people aren't used to seeing. So this is a Ike dollar. One of these is real, one of these is fake. And just looking at them, if you don't know what you're looking at, it's pretty difficult to tell. Like this is one I definitely wouldn't be able to tell. I don't ever really look at Ike dollars, but they look almost identical.
Yeah.
One of these is real, one of these is fake. We'll put this in here. And we'll ping it. That's definitely the real one. So this is one of the worst sounding coins in my opinion there is. I'm not sure if that's coming through, but that just goes straight to the brain, right through the eardrum.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so that's a gnarly coin. It's a clad coin that adds up. So there's enough silver in there where they call it 40%. Let's put in the fake one here. Now that we know that one's real. See, the hang time's not the same. The tone's not the same. And the cutoff at the end there is also different. So this is how you can use the sound to test for counterfeits. Pretty simple stuff. If it sounds the same, good to go. If it doesn't sound the same, you definitely want to do other testing methods. And let's get into that. So do you have anything you wanted to add there, Pat?
Oh, I was just going to say, I use the app on the phone to help me on the sound.
Yeah, sure. So let's bring that in on the next one. So I don't believe the Ike dollars, and I know the Kennedys aren't free to test on the app right now, but the app does have about 150 coins to test that are free, including these Morgans here. So we'll do a double up here. So this is the Precious Coin Tester app. It is currently, in my opinion, the best application that there is. Just a minute ago, I said there's about 150 free coins in here. Here's all the free silver coins. And then they've got the same thing for gold. So there's quite a bit of free stuff to test in here. And most of the common stuff is going to be here. And then some of the other not so common stuff is going to be, I think they're charging $2.99 a month to subscribe to the app, which is good if you've got some, rare stuff. $2.99 to make sure your coin matches is really not that expensive.
No, it's cheap insurance.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so here's a pretty big common misconception. A lot of people think that they can do the weight test and that's all they're going to need to do. So here are 3 Morgan dollars, and all of these pass the weight test. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this one on here, tear it out. So this one comes in at 26.74. So it's right above. That could be something with the scale. Let's go ahead and tear that out again. 26.77. So these max scale, this is actually my third one.
Yeah, I know.
They're not the highest end stuff here. So we're going to put that on there. This one comes in at 26.72. It's right where it needs to be. And then this one comes in at 26.64, which is right also where it needs to be. So all these are essentially right on weight. Let's see if you guys can hear the difference here. So this is one of them. I'm going to put it in here. And these look awesome too, right? So before we ping it, let's take a look at it. So these all look basically real.
Yeah.
Like you can't really, I personally can't really tell the difference. I look at Morgans all the time. I'd have to really look at it and actually study the coin a little bit to see whether or not it's real or fake. And so we'll put this one in here, we'll ping it. You can hear it makes that sound. Kind of a loud, screechy sound. So we're going to come over here to the app. We're going to type in Morgan. Hit the little magnifying glass there, and then double tap Morgan. You can see it pulls up the screen here, and then I'm going to hit check. And you can see that the app is listening to the coin here. It's going to tell us if it matches those key frequencies or not. And you can see that in this case it says 0 out of 3 bad, which means it doesn't hear any of the frequencies that it's supposed to hear from a silver Morgan. So we're going to go ahead and put in this other one here. Let's just go ahead and jump into the real one so we can see the difference. We'll hit check on the app. You can hear that's that beautiful, nostalgic 90% silver sound. And you can see in this case, the app heard all of the key frequencies it's looking for and gave it a 3 out of 3. Great. Yeah. Really, really simple technology. It's really just listening for frequencies and then saying, did I hear them or did I not hear them? And in this case, it did. But check this one out here. So this one's actually made of copper. Put that one in there. See, the app is doing the listening for us. And it came back 0 out of 3 bad. Didn't hear any of the key frequencies. And it is important when you're using these apps to make sure that the dimensions, you always want to check dimensions and weight. This is actually a perfect example. So the dimensions are all, the diameters are all exactly the same, and the weight is all right around where it needs to be. And combining those weight tests and dimensions tests with the ping test, we can see that 0 out of 3 bad, it is not the 90% silver alloy that it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I use the weight in my magnetic slide. I like my slide, but I do check dimensions too.
Yeah, yeah. So the dimensions is kind of like the hardest one to check because you have to pull out your calipers. And so let's just say that too. So when we're doing this, I think these are supposed to be 38.1. So here's the real one. You can see it comes in at 37.9. So it's within tolerance. And then we're going to go here and put in this other one. It's 38.1. So the fake one's actually closer to the to the spec than the real one is. Put this one in here. And this one's 38.2. So I think it depends on where you measure it too. Like,
yeah,
so there's it comes 30. That's actually maybe a little bit over. But 0.1 millimeters. So like a millimeter is about as thick as a thumbnail. So when you think about like cutting a thumbnail into like 10, it's a pretty small difference. Yeah, here's something else too. So when you're using your calipers, you want to be very, very careful because you can scratch these coins pretty easy. So if you catch the tip of these on a coin, it's going to scratch right into it. So be really, really careful. I've done that before in accident, going too fast. So you want to be really careful, especially when you're measuring the rim and things like that, where those might actually make contact with the face or back of the coin. Yep. So you said the magnet slide. So check this out. So I think I saw your video before where we showed the copper coin going down the magnet slide.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and try this here. So this is, and we can use the app here again too. So out of all of these, so a lot of people, they use a magnet, and the common way that people used to use a magnet is they would just touch it, right? And they're looking for it. So none of those, they would say, oh, none of those are fake. But then this one, they would say, oh yeah, that's definitely fake, right? Because it's stuck to the coin. But the modern day counterfeits, definitely the good ones, are not going to stick to a magnet like that. So here is another way to use a magnet that I think is a little bit more accurate, which is a magnet slide test. It's not as visually appealing as your long slide because you're going to get that longer demonstration of how fast it's sliding. But this still works. So you take a You take a magnet, you stick it on the top of the coin, a small one, and you let it slide down. And you can see there's like that little bit of resistance. So that one's doing the right thing. That one's also doing the right thing. Kind of sliding slow. And then we'll put it on this last one here. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's actually sliding a lot faster.
And that's where some people get a little faked out by it. They think it's not supposed to have any magnetic properties, but it does have some.
Yeah, it's diamagnetic, meaning it's repelled by magnets a little bit. And it actually creates an eddy current too, which is why I believe that the magnet is sliding down. There's actually some kind of current being created. Okay, so this one, we just found out that it's fake by the magnet test, right? It slides a little fast. Let's go over here to, now we're going to type in Silver Eagle. Is that still on screen? It is. Silver, E-A-G-L-E. Hit that, and you can see that. We're going to double tap that. I'm going to put this one in here. And then I'm going to hit check on the app. Here makes that sound. And this one came back 0 out of 3 bad. None of those frequencies were heard. So this is a bad coin. So 0 out of 3 is really, really bad. I've never seen a false negative 0 out of 3. But now we're going to go ahead and check on this and see if this one hears it. And even with your ears, you can probably hear the difference.
Yeah.
And this one came back 3 out of 3. Great. It is a match to the database, which is pretty awesome. So really simple technology that just works, which is really cool. And yeah, so this one actually passes the magnet test. I do have these, or I used to have some of these that pass the weight test also. These are, I would say, again, medium high level counterfeits. I've even seen these pass some other tests too. So this one came in at 31.96. That's heavy for sure. We'll switch it over to Troy ounces. 102.7. So it's not too heavy. The real one's probably way around 1.01. This one's 1.009. So it's a little bit heavy, but it fails the ping test for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been hearing more. Yeah, the fakes are just getting better and better all the time.
Yeah, I think I truly believe that visually speaking, they're going to be indistinguishable eventually. Just from what I've seen, like when I first started this, the counterfeits that I would see, just in the last few years, the counterfeits have improved dramatically. They used to all have like fake toner. They would be like 22, 23 grams when they're supposed to weigh 26. So the counterfeiters are getting better. Yeah, they're like, you could have maybe thought that they were like decoration pieces before, but now they're actually getting to the point where no, they're actually making like legitimate counterfeits. Let's go into the gold real quick when we're thinking about that. So this is what I would consider a high level counterfeit. This is a tungsten gold maple. It's made out of tungsten. It's got about $100 worth of gold wrapped around the outside. I've seen this pass an XRF machine where it just says, yeah, that's a gold coin. It also passes the weight test, 1.002 ounces. And here's the real one. This one comes in at 1.001, which is still within tolerance for sure. Yeah, so this is a high-level counterfeit. When you put it in the pinger, you can see tungsten doesn't make any sound at all, whereas this gold maple makes a beautiful golden jingle, which is really, really awesome. I love the way that sounds. I believe this is in here as well. Go to the gold maple here.
Yeah, that's something else. Yeah, I forgot to mention that it tests gold too. So
yeah, it definitely does. You want to be really, really gentle with your gold for sure. But even being super gentle, you could see it heard all 3 of the frequencies. Yeah, this one's good. Yeah, something else other people aren't really thinking about are these small little 10th ounce things. Can you hear that?
yeah.
So it's a 10th ounce gold eagle. And when you're using the pocket pinger, one of the things you want to do is if you've been pinging a lot, you readjust these caps, and that's going to make the coin level again. It's going to allow you to get more of a ping from the coin. Put in this
You're really good with that because I couldn't get a 1/10 ounce to. I had used the stick.
Yeah, you gotta practice for sure. It's hard for me to hear it with the phone, but there you go. That's how that works. And we're gonna go. So this is probably, so this one right here, way under the weight test. We'll get much louder ping out of this. This is a fake 1/2 ounce gold coin. Do you hear that? Kind of scratchy.
Yeah.
And here is the real one. This is my favorite coin to ping in this thing. So that's the real one, and that'll actually ping for 25 seconds, around that.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. So if you have one of these gold 22 karat gold coins, this is something I recommend getting just to experience that. That's a pretty neat thing.
Yeah, there's nothing like the sound of real silver and gold.
Yeah, and what's really interesting too, so I'll make a video sometimes and I'll get a bunch of people saying that they love the sound, and it's not, it's like a human thing, I believe. I'm not sure if it's like in our like DNA of the last 1,000 years or something like that.
It might be.
Yeah.
Because well, silver and gold have been money forever, so.
Yeah, and here's something else too. So this is another one of these common misconceptions, is that silver coins are going to have this like long, beautiful ring to it. And not all silver coins are going to do that. So each coin is going to have its own sound first, or it's going to make its own frequencies. And depending on the size of the coin, the alloy that's used, the manufacturing process, all the different things that go into the physical characteristics could potentially make a different sound. And this is interesting. So generally speaking, and this is something a lot of people think that the more pure a metal is, the longer that ring is going to be, which just isn't true. So it's actually quite the opposite. So generally speaking, the more pure a metal is, the shorter that duration of sound is going to be. So this is a maple, one of the most commonly stacked coins. We're going to ping that. You can see it only goes a little over 1 second. It sounds awesome. I haven't heard this one in a while. That sounds super smooth and pure. That sounds really, really good. But you can see it only lasted maybe 1.5 seconds at the most. That's a 4 nines silver coin. As you can see there, it says 4 nines on it. And the difference between a 4-9 and a 3-9 can even be heard. And there are some differences in the dimensions here, which is going to cause that as well. But see how much longer that goes?
Yeah.
And that's just one less 9 on there. But that one less 9 is 10 times the amount of copper that's in these things, which is kind of like counterintuitive when you first think about it. But once you understand that extra 9 is 10 times less impurities.
Yeah, you don't think of it that way. But
yeah, you don't really think exactly that. Okay, so here I believe this is the sweet spot. This is a sterling silver coin, 92.5%. A sweet spot for duration of sound. And this one's actually proof 2, which means that the manufacturing process, they actually strike it at least twice to get that mirror finish. You can see this one just goes.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that in a while. It sounds beautiful.
It does.
Yeah, I may have a bias, but I believe that sterling silver may have been chosen specifically, or part of it, for the sound that it makes. Like that's sterling is really, really unique in this regard.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I know I've got a couple of sterling silver coins around. I have to go dig them out.
Yeah, especially the proof ones. But they're all, even if they're not proof, they still sound really beautiful. I just did another one today. But so you can see that. So the 4 nines had the shortest, 3 nines can go a little longer. 92.5% goes the longest, and then it starts to get shorter again after the sterling. But even 90% sounds really good.
Yes.
Yeah, the US 90% sounds great.
I know. I like it when I'm digging through like my halves and quarters.
Yeah, nice. Very, very cool. And yeah, we can see the same thing here too. So this is you heard the gold maple is really short. Here's a gold buffalo. Sounds beautiful. Feel really fortunate I get to ping one of those. And then here is the 22 karat gold eagle. And it just goes and goes and goes and goes. And this actually has silver mixed in with it too. This is something not even people that own gold eagles really know about. This thing will go 30 seconds pinging. Really, really unique, really, really cool. And the physical characteristics that make it do that are just awesome.
So,
Cool.
So do you have anything new coming up? Or?
Yeah, so I'm one of those people that I'm always thinking of having and doing more things.
Okay.
The answer is yes. I just don't want to. I don't really want to go into too much of it because I don't want to like overpromise and then not
Oh,
be able to
okay.
deliver it. But there's I'm definitely working on stuff. Behind the scenes, absolutely every day. Trying to make and the ideas keep changing too. So that's another reason I don't want to say something.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
But yeah, so I'll say this that I want to be able to go beyond the current limitations of the market. As far as the pink test, I want to take the pink test as far as it can go, and that means I've got a lot to learn. But I want to be able to test bars too. Like it doesn't make sense, right? Like with the applications and things.
Yeah.
It to me, it doesn't make sense that there's not that in the marketplace already, especially because I truly believe it will work. But I'm pretty far from that. But that's something that I eventually want to help the community with. I want the community to have that. I think it's important.
Yeah, because 10-ounce bars are kind of my sweet spot, the one I buy the most of.
Yeah, yeah, I love the 10-ounce bars as well. That's great. Yeah, the testing that needs to be done is not so much on the different metals, right? Like I already know that if it's made of copper or if it's made of brass or if it's made of like lead, it's going to make a different frequency for sure. Different set of frequencies. What needs to be done is on the drilled and filled bars, right? Which is probably more common than these counterfeits made of fake metals. I see fake 10-ounce bars. I have one right here, actually. 1 second. I have one right here. So this is a fake 10-ounce bar. Yeah, let me go ahead and show you a product anyway.
Okay. We broke him down.
This was one of the original prototypes. This is called the Boolean Balance. And I'm going to go ahead and put that here. And the reason I didn't want to move forward with this one is because it's actually made out of EVA foam. And inside of EVA foam, there is a peroxide. And peroxide may affect the tarnish on silver.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I don't want to mess with that, right? So I'm going to try and avoid that as much as I can. Even though there are a lot of coin products that are made specifically for coins and silver made out of EVA, I think that they're doing that because of the material itself, and they're not actually worrying about, people's silver. But that said, I think if you do leave something enclosed where oxygen can't get to it, then it's not going to get tarnished or anything. But here we go. So this is a fake silver bar. I'm going to put it on this Boolean Balance here and tap it. You can hear it makes that sound. This is some kind of brass. But so these things do exist. And then here is a real silver bar. You can see the dimensions are much different. So that's what's cool about silver is it has a pretty big density, and if you know what you're looking at or what the dimensions are supposed to be, it's pretty easy to tell if it's not silver, especially when you get into these bigger things. And here's a real one. Sounds beautiful. You hear the difference in tone?
Yeah.
So I do believe that it's possible. I mean, it's absolutely possible to do this with the applications. It's just that there's a lot more research that needs to go into it before something like that launches. But that is
Before it's
something.
ready for market or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm most concerned about, and I do think that the ping test would be able to catch it with just frequencies, is if these things are drilled and filled, right? So if somebody comes in here, they drill like 3 holes all the way through it, and they put lead bars in there, and then they put more silver on the top, and they polish it, make it smooth again. I do believe that I know it would catch that, but the question is how much can be missing before the ping test doesn't catch it.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm saying? And so
yeah,
like,
yeah, you're correct. That would take a lot of research.
yeah, and I think you're right. It would take a lot of research, but I think it's something worth looking into.
Oh, yeah, I would.
We'll see.
I'd be on board for that. Like I
Yeah,
said, 10-ounce bars are the ones I buy the most of.
yeah, I think 10-ounce bars would be okay, right? So I can already tell just by pinging it that I can feel and hear the vibration moving through the bar, and that it's just all smooth and consistent, and it's one metal for sure. If there's a crack or something in this, it's going to instantly cut off that resonance, but it may still make that same peak frequencies. And currently, the applications are only listening for peak frequencies. They're not listening for the amount of time that it takes for the ringing to stop.
Oh, okay.
And if that makes sense, and it's the ringing. The ringing gets really, really important the bigger the bar goes, especially if we're listening for, like, if there's just one little piece of lead right here inside of this thing, is it going to catch that? I think that it would. Yeah, but I think that it would, right? So there's no evidence to that. So that's something that needs to be researched. But yeah, yeah, we got a little off topic. But yeah, this is maybe something that I was hoping to have this year. But it won't look like this. I've actually got a new design, but I'm not sure. There's I'm talking to manufacturers and everything, and so far the stuff that I want isn't being created. So it's like a new manufacturing process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem when you got to go out and it doesn't exist what you want.
Yeah, you got to go out and you got to sell them on stopping their production to help you with the prototype.
Yeah, and they don't like doing that.
No, they're busy. They're like, no, we've got a business here, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's possible. I just got to find, I've only talked to 2. Both of them said they're not doing it yet, so I need to talk to 8 more to find someone that can. But then I'm also redesigning the whole part as well, which is where I am right now. But yeah, so I think if I get 10 no's, then I know maybe it's not going to happen, or not so easily, or I got to like buy equipment and do it myself. But 2 no's is definitely not a place to stop.
Yeah,
I need to get some more no's before I say it's not possible.
That's good.
How long have we gone? I haven't been paying attention. Oh, I see.
We're kind of gone a little over 30 minutes. We might want to wrap it up. So if you got anything else you'd like to add, or
no, this is great. Thanks for listening to me.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. Like I said, I really believe in it, and I encourage everybody to get one. I think it's cheap.
Yeah,
it's very effective. And anybody that stacks, collects, or whatever should own one. I mean, it's they buy scales and other things. They're spending that much anyway, so it's not that much money. So
cool. Yeah, agree. So, yeah, I mean, if you just catch one counterfeit, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
And then there's also that, like, you can learn a lot from the sound too. It goes deep, right? There's a ton that a lot of people haven't really paid attention to as far as the acoustics that come from these things. And it's like a whole new field of collecting. If you're into that kind of thing, I don't know. It's not for everybody, I guess.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks so much, Morgan. If anything ever comes up, let me know. I'm here to help. And
Yeah.
maybe we should do this again sometime too.
Yeah. I think that'd be great to check in with you later.
Cool.
All righty. Well, you take care, and thanks again.
Yeah, take care. Thanks, Morgan. Bye.
Bye.